When I was in high school, I loved Zero bars. If it's not my favorite candy of all time, it only loses by a hair to Reese's Eggs. Our teacher sold candy for fundraising, and the coach of speech team sold Zero bars among her wares. She was nice. I enjoyed speech team. I have fond memories of Zero bars. Shocking, right? Actually, I had to give up chess team to be on speech team because both tournaments happened on Saturdays. It explains all of this, doesn't it? Sometimes I spot a Zero bar at the store, I buy one on impulse, and they are delicious. But you can't make a meal out of them. They're tasty, but ultimately empty calories. And as long as you keep that in mind, they're a nice treat. Such is the Mario Brothers movie, which was a nice, sweet, empty treat. It was delicious fan service. It just won't fill you up. I don't agree with critics giving it an average 50% score, but I also don't agree with the audience who is giving it over 90. Let's talk about the movie, why I feel that way. Let's also talk about Peach, because a lot of people have opinions on her. Let's start with the good stuff. If you have passed by any screen where Mario was on, anytime in your life since 1985, there was a reference in this movie that you're gonna get. We had Squirrel Mario, the eel from 64, the little star things from Galaxy, Luigi's Haunted Mansion, Cat Mario, White Top Hat Bowser from Odyssey, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong. It's gonna be fun watching other people's videos detailing every little thing they tucked into this movie from 40 years of Nintendo history. Yeah, it wasn't just Mario references. I saw Punch-Out, Pac-Man, Kid Icarus. There's a lot of nostalgia here, and I guarantee you will enjoy picking out the Easter eggs. They even got the feeling of video games in here. In the opening bit, we have a straight-up 2D platformer as the brothers are navigating city obstacles and scaffolding. That was really well done. There was also a training montage that anyone who has ever played a platform will fully understand. Obviously, you've got the Mario Kart sequence on Rainbow Road, complete with Mario taking a shortcut by jumping off the road. It was full of fun parts, and I want to stress that. I don't want that to get lost. Unfortunately, the whole wasn't as great as the sum of those parts. The trouble with a nostalgia-driven movie is that it's almost impossible not to overdo it and forget about the actual storytelling. I found myself being actually a little bit bored in parts because everything was just kind of happening on screen, no real reason. One example that really stands out to me was at the end of the Rainbow Road sequence. The heroes have basically won, they're getting away, and then there's this turtle that's driving a tank, and he just yells out, "You're not gonna get away from me," and he just screams, "Blue shell!" and zips toward them, spins around and explodes. They needed the heroes to fall off the road, and they wanted a blue shell reference, so there it is. Mario's story doesn't really mean much. He and Luigi have quit their jobs, they've invested all their money into a plumbing business, then they find a magical pipe, they get sucked into the Nintendo realm, and they find that they are in the middle of a brewing conflict between Bowser and the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, to be fair, nothing about Mario games makes a damn bit of sense. So it's kind of easy to give them some leniency on this silly setup. It does affect the story though, because everything is just happening because it's happening. Who is Toad? Why is he different from all the other mushrooms? Who knows? He just is. He joins the gang. Why is Mario's family mean? Really just so they can be proud of him at the end, and it seems like there was some kind of growth arc. His whole family thing just seems very tacked on, as does Donkey Kong's. Why is Peach the only human in the Mushroom Kingdom? Who knows? They start explaining it and then they don't. I know, Mario games don't make any sense whatsoever, but it's very clear that this movie is a collection of references and Easter eggs, and the dialogue and action are only there to get us from one reference to the next. Once the nostalgia wears off, you see that the movie itself is just very okay. It reminds me a lot of what's happening right now with that new Marvel's trailer. A lot of people are like, I really love that trailer. No, you don't. You love the Beastie Boys. In the same way, you don't love the Mario movie, you love the references. They're fun, but it's not a 9 out of 10 movie. This is not Illumination's best work. It was a fun watch, admittedly. I'm just not interested in a second watch. This is more on the Life of Pets and the Minions sequel side of their work. With the exception of Trolls, which sucks, DreamWorks is doing a much better job of telling really good animated stories that you want to see again and again. So, now Peach. Is she a damn feminazi girl boss? I think no. She's just poorly written. Girl boss is a tricky word, a lot like woke. I like to stick to the razor of not attributing malice to something that is adequately explained through stupidity. A girl boss, as we talk about them today, is designed to make women look superior by making men look inferior. There's clear malice. She-Hulk will remain the best, worst example until the next horrible thing comes along. Peach, in my opinion, is not designed to make Mario look stupid. Only one time does the movie actually compare them. It's right after the obstacle course scene. Yes, she's really more of a plot device with lines. She's an NPC who is required to just progress the story. She's stronger and more agile than Mario, but that's explained explained by her being a lifelong resident of the Nintendo world. Her dialogue was very strange sounding, her origin story was unimportant. Like a lot of this movie, she was just another reference, though she had more screen time and some lines. I said the same thing about the D&D movie. Chris Pine's character was not clowned on as an effigy for all men, it was just clumsy writing. I want to emphasize one last time, none of this makes the movie bad. My scores are kind of like points in Whose Line, but I would give it like a 7 out of 10. The references and nostalgia were fun, but that was about it. I do not regret buying a ticket, and I don't think you will either, but one viewing is probably going to be good. But now it's your turn. Did you agree that it was just okay? Were you absolutely in love with it? I'm really interested to find out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.